Coding and thematic analysis is actually the main framework or main strategy, one of the main strategies in qualitative methodology. Now, coding class, it's not like C++, but in the field of architectural research or research in general, coding is the organization or the picking of information from a given text or from a given data. Now, in the field of data mining for information technologists or data scientists, coding and thematic analysis are always used. That's why they are suing Facebook and other social media platforms because allegedly those companies have sold our data to companies outside Facebook. For example, advertisements para makita kung anong preferences nyo. Binenta lahat ng data ninyo or natin from Facebook or from Twitter or from TikTok for you to be engaged in product buying. So yun ang isang allegation sa mga social media platforms. Until today, they are still being tried in courts, no, sa mga korte. No, that is unethical actually. And they may use our personal data, personal information to exploit it in using those preferences in giving you products or services. Kaya minsan, magugulat na lang kayo, nagsabi lang kayo na ganito yung kailangan nyo na libro, bigla na lang mag-pop up yung mga ads about it. Mga advertisements, mga Facebook groups, yun ang ano niya. Yun ang binabangga nila. Na ano nyo yun, na-experience nyo yun. That is what we call algorithms in Facebook or social media platforms. And that is a real thing. No? That is the one of the foundations of data mining. No? Data mining. But, class, I will teach you how to do data mining. No? Mamaya. I hope you have your cell phones with you with internet or data. We will have a sample on how to do data mining. Now, what to do in coding and thematic analysis? What do we need to do? This is the step-by-step process. First, you need to be familiarized in the data itself, the information themselves. How do we do this? In the field of data mining and in the field of research class, you need to immerse yourselves inside the data. Mag-dive kayo sa loob ng data. Pasukin nyo lahat. You read everything. You read the transcripts you do. You hear all the audios. You review all the notes you have taken. So that is data familiarization. Dapat alam nyo, no? Actually, you will be scrutinized in your defense in the future on asking if you are familiar with what you are doing. Bakit ganito to? Yung data na to. Tatanungin lahat sa inyo yan. Now, second is initial coding. When we say initial coding, from the transcripts, notes, and others, or the data that you have gathered, you code them. When we say coding them, you assign labels. You may assign labels. You may assign key concepts or ideas from those coded data. How do we do coded data? For example, keywords. You may use keywords. In my previous example in the parking lot, you may code the data based on the demography, based on the color of the car, based on the shape of the car, based on the number of wheels of the vehicle. You can do that. That is coding. Nicely fed. That is coding. The third is organizing the codes. If you have a set of codes that are similar with each other, for example, the number of wheels, we have 4 wheels, we have 10 wheels, we have 3 wheels, we have 2 wheels, then the organization of the code would be number of wheels. Simple as that. So that is how you will organize the code. The fourth is to thematize the code. When we say thematizing the code, you create the entire team or the entire group of these codes. For example, if you are talking about vehicles, how do you group them? Do you group them by the source of energy? For example, gas or diesel. The source of the product. Saan ba nabili itong mga product na to? Is this Japan made? Is this China made? Is this made in USA? So that is the overarching team. Yung pinakataas ng team niya. No, that is how you thematize the code. The fifth is to review and refine the themes. Of course, if you thematize the code, you refine it. It's not always that the theme that you include is the final output. You may just draft the code in itself or thematize it. Then you refine it. And then the sixth is to define them. After you thematize them, you define them. Ano to? Anong ibig sabihin nito? If this is made in USA, what is this product? No? Ano yung definition niya? The seventh is the data charting. Ayan, medyo malalim na. But it is a basic thing in data organization, charting them. So when we say charting them, you provide a figure, X and Y figure, or tabulation. That is data charting. So you may place the thematized information based on the chart. So dito, made in Japan, made in China, made in USA. So, Japan, China, USA. Yan. Itatabulate mo dyan. And then, nandito yung organization for cars, yung row for cars, yung row for motorcycles, then bicycles. Dito mo siya ipa-plot. Ilan ang number nila. That is an example of data charting. Eight is interpretation. Now, the interpretation would vary. It depends. Again, this is thematic analysis. The interpretation may be 3-dimensional or 2-dimensional. Paano magiging 3-dimensional ito? Diba, ito yung x-axis natin, ito yung y-axis natin. Sometimes charts do a z-axis. Ano pa yung ibang factors that are connected with this data? So, in the interpretation class, in the interpretation of your data, it would vary if there is an existing correlation between the number or the characteristic of the person who owns the vehicle and these preferences of the products. So you may include a z-axis. So sa interpretation, you need information again. you need to plot the information versus what you are trying to correlate, what you are trying to relate in another factor. So for example, ito yung owners, ito yung preferences nila. The ninth is report writing. So after you interpreted it, you report them in a larger scale. And then the tenth is peer review and validation. When we say peer review and validation, it is a difficult process because it may entail your humility. It may challenge your humility here. Peer review and validation. What do we mean by that? May challenge your humility because they may criticize it immediately. You are being reviewed by your peers, your equals, and validate it with the owners themselves. In Tagalog class, ipa-check nyo, ipasuri ninyo sa kasama nyo. That's why in the base course of RM, you begin doing it. Huwag kayong matakot na ipa-check sa akin or sa kaklase nyo. No? Huwag kayong matakot sa akin if you are hesitant. Because when I criticize, I am constructive. No? Pero kung sabihin ng kaklase mo na pangit, without any reason, panawan nyo. No? Ano yun? Ano sa Tagalog yun? Iwan nyo. Iwan yung ganun na klaseng tao, subjective. No? So, when you do peer review and validation, you try to approach me. At least try. Di na nangangain ng kaluluwa. Anyway, that is the 10th step. And please be careful in doing coding and thematic analysis. Again, qualitative may subject a person as subjective in nature. So, subjective siya dyan. Ano yung interpretation niya? Again, in qualitative analysis class, you are the instrument. You are the instrument. Unlike in meteorology or unlike in other sciences, there are instruments that are placed in the sky sa satellites natin, ilalagay dun sa tubig para i-measure yung mga phenomena. But you, as a qualitative researcher in the future, you are the instrument. So there is a level of subjectivity here. It is your interpretation, your opinion. No? And to strengthen that opinion, you should show it to peer review, via peer review or validation. Clear tayo dito? Clear tayo dyan.